In history, we often talk about the echoes of the past still being heard today. Britain ruled the vast empire that she conquered for almost 300 years. Britain gave up that empire between 1947 and 1997, well within the lifetime of most teachers and most parents and grandparents today. The consequences of that period in British history will still have resonance today. And we need to see history not as some easily sectioned and partitioned off start and ending chapters, but one complete controlling and rolling narrative that comes through to the present day. In looking at the Windrush generation, the immigrants from the empire, we can see the consequences of the empire in reverse. Britain is quite simply the biggest exporter of people ever. It explains why British culture and the British language, and the English language, is so prevalent globally. After the Second World War, however, immigration became a feature and Britain turned into a multiracial, multicultural country. So firstly, our knowledge retrieval, 5 countries that were part of the empire, 3 good and 3 bad facts about the British Empire. Obviously no definitive answers there. Right. Question, anyone heard of the Windrush? A reading activity, read through and on the left hand side identify the point of each paragraph and then the summary on the right hand side to build up the context for this particular lesson. Who then are the Windrush generation? Why did they come here? More information on that. Where were they from? The Caribbean to Britain. How were they welcomed? People wanted them, some people didn't want them. Consequences to migration into the country. How the law was changed to prevent freedom of movement. How were they contributing? And the impact. Complete the summary. Some interpretation now of some film sources from Pathé News. What does this film tell you about attitudes of the white British? Now again, students can pull upon all of their skills in interpreting this. Nature, origin, purpose, tone, language, inference, objective, subjective, and again with a second source. A modern documentary to bring students up to speed on the consequences of the Windrush Scandal. And conclusion. We will revisit this quote later in year 9. And that concludes the studies of the British Empire. However, the First World War, which will be the first focus of the 20th century, obviously was a clash not just of countries, but of their empires. The European empires went to war in 1914 through to 1918, and of course empires were a consequence of the Industrial Revolution of the 17th and 18th and 19th centuries. So it's pulling our learning together.